This is the start of something huge for the Pelicans as they prepare for the next 10 games. The team is finally fully healthy, well, with the exception of one player, and we'll tell you about it inside this episode. But is this team really improving? They have a chance to prove it, and we're going to talk about it all inside this edition of Pelicans Digest. What's good with it, y'all? It's your people, Melz On The MIC, back once again inside Pelicans Digest as they get ready for the Raptors going down tonight at the Smoothie King Center. Wish I was there, but I'll be in the Smoothie King Center next week for the back-to-back against the Clippers. And, oh, yeah, man, y'all need to go cop y'all one of these Pelicans starter jackets. Shout out to Homage, man. They got the Pelicans starter joints. I don't know if you can see that. Hold on, let me move my mic real quick. See that? Yeah. Go get you one of them. Especially if you're a 90s kid. You know, they ain't had these back in the 90s. We didn't even have a team when these came out. So I had to cop me one. Big shout out to the folks over there. But, yeah, man, lots to talk about with the Pels, man, as they get ready for a gauntlet over the next 10 games. They're going to be facing some of the most elite teams in all of basketball, and that's going to determine a lot about this team, especially the future of the roster, who stays, who goes. But I think it's going to really affect one person and one person only. And we're going to talk about it inside this episode of Pelicans Digest. So thank you so much for tapping in with us. We're trying to hit 5,000 subscribers. We're over 4,000. Let's keep the number going up as we talk about inside this episode the play-in push or F that pick update. All right? That's you either on team play-in push or team F that pick. We got an update for you inside this episode. Also, we're going to talk about these next 10 games with the Pelicans and who is really going to affect. And also, we're going to do a quick preview of the Raptors game tonight. Will the pool party be open in New Orleans tonight? Is the pool going to be open? We're going to talk about that inside this episode of Pelicans Digest. But first, let's get it started with, of course, what team are you on as far as the rest of the season? You on team play-in push or team F that pick? We got an update for you right now. If you are on team play-in push, last night, both the Grizzlies and the Mavericks lost. All right? So the Pelicans are now a half game within jumping Dallas right now for the 12th spot, and will put them at least 2 games closer to Memphis to get into the 11th spot. Still 10 games out from that Portland spot. Still 10 games out. But if you're still delusional, you still believe in team play-in push, hey, your chances at least improved. At least they have improved somewhat. There, see, I got, there you go. You team play and push. I got this on for you. This is strictly for y'all. All right? All right. So, as we move on, we also got team F that pick. If you are in the camp that is trying to knock down that first round pick that we ain't got next season, well, then you're going to be in continued luck as well. Because as of right now, according to Tankathon, that pick is at 6 right now. It's not a top 4 pick. So if you're on team F that pick, you're going to need a couple more wins to help knock that pick down a little bit further. So right now it's in the 6th spot. I think it goes, I read an article somewhere that says that it could go down to as low as 9th. That's fine with me. But at the same time, that's where you're at now if you are on that team. That is your update. So if you're on team play-in push, your odds have gotten better. And if you're on team F that pick, your odds have gotten better as well. All right? You just got something to root for the rest of the season. One thing you got to root for, though, for the rest of the season, especially, is what's going to happen over the next 10 games. As we've already talked about, the Pelicans are 11-9 over their last 20. They're 6-4 coming out of the All-Star break. They've won the games that they're supposed to win. They won the games that they're supposed to win against the lower team, the teams that are tanking, the Wizards and the Jazz and them kind of folks, and the Kings and all them. Still haven't won the games that you need to win against some of the elite talent in the game. And then over the next 10 games, man, it's going to get a little hectic because 9 of the Pelicans' next 10 games are against teams that currently are in the playoffs or at least a play-in tournament. And this is going to be a good measuring stick for this team, man, because at the end of the day, this roster is, for the most part, all the way healthy. Haven't had any injury issues with anybody for the most part. You had a few questionable reports in here and there, but for the most part, they've all been out there performing. So, the record is what it is. The season's over, but you still want to see and evaluate what's going to happen, especially with a fully healthy roster, how this team can play. But it's not nice, though, fam. They faced the Raptors twice, starting tonight. They got the Houston Rockets. You got 2 doses of Kevin Durant coming up twice. You got the Clippers, 2 doses of Kawhi that I'm going to be at next weekend in the Smoothie King Center. You got the Cleveland game, one of the top teams in the East. You got the Knicks and the Pistons, all 3 of the top 4 teams in the Eastern Conference. And as of right now, if you're counting the Raptors are number 5 in the Eastern Conference as of right now. So you're getting the whole top 5 of the Eastern Conference over the next 10 games. And you, if I'm not mistaken, you beating the Pistons, Yeah, you haven't had too much success with a lot of these other teams. You got a Jose Alvarado revenge game on deck in Madison Square Garden that we're going to have to go see and watch. It's going to be tough, man. I do think, and, Trey Murphy said it. Trey Murphy said it best in his quote here. It's a litmus test to see where we are, to see what quality basketball we're really playing. Now we get to see what our product looks like against teams that are trying to win and compete for the playoffs. It's a litmus test, all right, Trey. It's a litmus test for a lot of guys on this roster. But the number one person I think this is a true litmus test for is going to be James Borrego. I think these next 10 games are going to be a true litmus test on whether or not he gets that interim tag taken off of him. And again, at the end of the day, you have a fully healthy roster, and there should be no excuses. There should be no excuses. As far as if this team is relatively healthy and remains healthy over the next 10 games, then it's all on him and scheming and rotations and things like that and who he's going to play. So that's who I think is the number one person who this is going to be huge for. These next 10 games is going to be huge for. It's going to be James Borrego, especially if they're injury-free. I would like to know what y'all think. If he comes out of these next 10 games with a winning record, does he get the job? Does that seal up the job for you next season for him? Or if he comes out with a losing record, does that change anything for you? Do you think he needs to go? We'd love to know your thoughts in the comments on that, man. Because I'm kind of torn. Because at the end of the day, he's got these guys playing better basketball, especially coming out the All-Star break. And you got the full, healthy roster of players. And so far, you have a winning record out of the All-Star break. You're 6-4. You're out of the All-Star break with a winning record, which is trending better than what it is. Not fantastic, but still, it's a winning record. Win is winning. So I would love to know your thoughts on that, because the test will begin tonight against this Toronto Raptors team, like I said, who's currently 5th in the East, but they're falling rapidly. There's only a 3-game separation between the top 5 in the East, the 5 seed, and the play-in, the 10 seed. Only 3-game difference. And, of course, if you check the injury report going into tonight, you're going to be missing Bryce McGowens. It's unclear when McGowan suffered the injury, but it looks like the Pelicans are going to evaluate him for a day-to-day basis for the time being. But you should see some more playing time for a couple of players, including Herbert Jones, who's probably going to get more minutes if he doesn't get into foul trouble early. Also, Micah Peavy and y'all favorite, everybody's favorite on this team, Jordan Poole fans unite, make some noise. You might see the pool party open in New Orleans tonight. You might see the pool party open in New Orleans tonight. But it's going to be interesting if it's not. I already said before a couple of videos ago that I don't expect Jordan Poole to ever crack any minutes, any time for the rest of the season. They're just going to hold him out and see if they can facilitate a move for him next season. Franchise-wise. I don't think, like I said, the man making $30-something million, he's fine with it. I think he's fine with it. I think he ain't tripping. But tonight it would be interesting to see if Borrego gives minutes to Poole or Peavy tonight. That is something to watch for in this game tonight. That is something I am going to be watching for, is who's going to fill in for the Bryson McCollum minutes, or Jordan Hawkins for that matter. It could be him too. But it will be interesting if he looks down that bench and says, "Nah, give me Jordan, you good. Poole, you good. Yeah, give me the rookie." It would be interesting, super interesting. Also, it could be a Brandon Ingram revenge game, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to just keep it 100 with you. Because last night wasn't a good night for B.I., man, in that Rockets game. The Raptors lost to the Rockets, 113-99. Ugly night for B.I., though. Ugly night. 9 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, minus 18 on the floor, 36 minutes of action. Wasn't a good night for him. I fully expect him to try to redeem himself in this game tonight. I fully expect it, even though this is the second of a back-to-back. So with that being said, the Pelicans really have a chance to win this game and take advantage of the situation. This is the second night of a back-to-back for them, for the Raptors. You done had a couple of days off if you're the Pels. You are fine. You've been chilling. Been out there. I seen y'all. Y'all out there planting trees and visiting the animal shelters and all that other stuff. So they had a lot of time to relax. So I think the Pelicans should be able to pull off a victory tonight. But again, this Raptors team, their hallmark is defense. They've been playing some great defense. Yeah, as you see, these ain't no high-scoring games that they're winning. So I don't know, man. And plus, they've been slipping, man. They're in the middle of a 3-game losing streak. Pelicans are trying to win 3 straight. If you're the Pelicans, you have a chance to win this game tonight. But, you never know with this team. You have a chance to at least get this 10-game streak started. It will be coming down to coaching from here on out if this team is healthy, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just call it what it is. It will come down to coaching. Nothing more, nothing less over these next 10 games. The roster is completely healthy. You got everybody available. The question is, now it's Borrego ball time. What you going to do? Well, let us know your thoughts, though, about the Borrego situation, the next 10 games. Raptors tonight. What are your thoughts on all that's going on with the squad right now? Clap back with your thoughts in the comments, and I thank you so much for tapping in with us here on Pelicans Digest. This is where you get the best analysis, opinions, and more about the New Orleans Pelicans. It's Melz talking about those Pels. I holla at you.